Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And today I'm bringing a special video. Since I'm making a comeback onto YouTube right now, I decided to bring back the channel to its original roots, which is the slasher movie genre. So for those who don't know, because I'm under the impression that I've got a few new subscribers that are commenting and watching my videos at the moment, so thanks a lot, that's awesome. And I really hope you enjoy my future content. And for some of you older guys, this is probably going to be a little bit of a nostalgic video for you guys, because it certainly will be for me. So I started my channel in September 2010, so I have been on YouTube for 6 years. And my main focus when I first started getting into horror movie collecting seriously was to build up a substantial slasher collection. Slashers are my favourite horror movie genre, and I have done so. In fact, I've got well over 200 slasher movies, not including franchises. So if you include the franchises, it's probably closer to 300, which is kind of crazy. But before I get into the video, or the main part of the video with the slasher collection, I'm wanting to give a special shout out to Kurt over at Mind Your Horror. And if you're not subscribed to him, please do so. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. He's had a couple of channels in the past. He started off as Horror Collectible Guy in about 2011, and that's when me and him first met. And he's one of my closest friends on here, and he's actually a big motivation for me to come back and start making videos again. So he's brought back his channel, Mind Your Horror, so if you're not subscribed to him, and you're wanting to check him out, I highly recommend it. Me and him have very similar tastes when it comes to horror movies, and this is why you're seeing my Halloween collection right now, because me and him used to talk about Halloween collecting all the time, and both of us were a big motivation for each other to build our Halloween franchise collection, and that is something that is very important to me, and it's something that I'm never going to forget. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to Kurt, Mind Your Horror, channel link in the description box, check him out, he's awesome. Anyway, enough on that. I've got a lot of slasher movies to get through, so let's get started. Alrighty, so since I have a lot of slashers, I'm not really going to go through each one individually, but if there's a few sort of ones that aren't really that well known that I recommend, I will give them a closer look. But before we get into the movies, I'm wanting to show you some slasher related collectibles. So I have a few Friday the 13th figurines and collectibles. We have the Sideshow Collector's figure of Pamela Voorhees, which is awesome. Part 3 Jason Voorhees, which is my favourite Jason. The Funko Pop Jason, and behind that we have a Friday the 13th mask, which came from the DVD box set. Then next to that we have a couple of Leatherface figurines, the movie Maniacs, and a larger figure, which is pretty awesome. And here we have the Child's Play Chucky area. So I have the first 3 movies on DVD and VHS. And then I have the 15-inch Talking Chucky and a little bobblehead Chucky, which was actually the very first horror figurine I ever got. So those are sort of what I have as my main figures in terms of slashers. I have a bunch of Michael Myers stuff, but I'm going to show that later on in the video. Okay, so let's get on to the DVDs. So I'll just go section by section. So here we have a few documentaries. We have Going to Pieces, which is an amazing documentary that I highly recommend. His Name Was Jason, Never Sleep Again, Slice and Dice. This is a UK only release, I believe, and it's a pretty good slasher related doco, but it's not as good as Going to Pieces. Then I have the Classic Slasher Collection, Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours, The Initiation and Mountaintop Motel Massacre, which is a rarer DVD now, as is this one right here, which is The Forest and Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Then we have Aerobicide, aka Killer Workout, which I know has a Blu-ray release, so hopefully I get that at some point. Alice Sweet Alice, Alone in the Dark, which is a really, really good one. American Gothic, which is another really, really good one. Anthropophagus, April Fool's Day, which is really good. Then on this side we have Blood Cult, Blood Sisters, Body Count, The Boogeyman, which is shit. Cheerleader Camp, Chopping Mall, which has a Blu-ray which I want to get when it becomes a bit cheaper. Christmas Evil and Silent Night Bloody Night. Class Reunion Massacre, also known as The Redeemer Son of Satan. Clown House, which is awesome despite its controversy. Crawl Space, Cutting Class, Don't Answer the Phone, and Don't Go in the House. Then down here we have Don't Open Till Christmas, Don't Panic, Driller Killer, Evil Laugh, which is fantastic. It's really, really cheesy, but it has some really awesome characters and some pretty good kills, so I definitely recommend that. It's kind of obscure. Fade to Black, which I know has a lot of fans, but I'm not a massive fan of it. Fanatic, Funeral Home, Girls Night Out, The Hand, Hell Night with Linda Blair, Hide and Go Shriek, and I believe this Australian DVD is the only official release of this movie worldwide, and it's a shame that the movie is pretty bad. Humongous, The Initiation, and Just Before Dawn. Then on this side we have Killer Party. This is a burn on demand from the Warner Archives. I really wish Scream Factory or Arrow or someone would release this movie on Blu-ray because it's amazing. Memorial Valley Massacre, Mortuary, My Bloody Valentine, Nail Gun Massacre, Nightmares, Nightmare Beach, also known as Welcome to Spring Break. Really, really underrated. This movie is amazing. And it's got a pretty unique killer as well. Night School, One Dark Night, Offerings, which is a Halloween ripoff. It's not too bad. The Outing, Peeping Tom, and Pieces. Pieces is the Arrow video release with really, really amazing artwork. Then down on this shelf we have Popcorn, Pranks, Psycho Cop, Return to Horror High, Rocktober Blood, Scream, Silent Night Deadly Night, which is a classic, and then I have the Silent Night Deadly Night 3-pack, Silent Scream, Slaughter High, which is another great release from Arrow, and I really wish they would release this on Blu-ray because it's awesome. Sledgehammer, which is a shot on video and it's a piece of shit. Slumber Party Massacre Collection, Sweet 16, Toolbox Murders. Then next up we have Tourist Trap, which is fantastic. Definitely highly recommend that one. Blood Moon, which is a pretty bad Australian slasher. Deadly Manor, Dr. Giggles, Happy Hell Night, Billy Club. That one was pretty good. It's a modern slasher. Black Xmas, the remake, which I like. Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. This movie is a lot of fun. It's pretty cheesy, but it's really fun. Bloody Homecoming, which is pretty good. Bloody Murder 1 and 2, Buried Alive, Camp Slaughter, Cherry Falls, and Cold Prey. Then on this shelf we have Cold Prey 2, Creep Van, which is really, really good. Cut, which is a pretty decent Australian slasher film. Die Die Delta Pi, Drive Through, Found, Grim Weekend, Guttables. This is probably one of the most brutal slashers I have ever seen, so I would highly recommend it. As long as you don't mind swearing, because there's a lot of profanity within that film. Hellbent, which is a gay-themed slasher movie, and it's really, really well done, so I definitely recommend checking that out. High Lane, which is an interesting slasher, it's good though. The Hills Run Red, Invitation Only, which is an Asian slasher, which is really good. Jack Frost 1 and 2, they're pretty rare nowadays. The Killage, I highly, highly recommend this one. I'm pretty certain this is the only release of this movie worldwide. This is the Australian DVD, and this is an Australian low-budget independent slasher film that was absolutely fantastic. Really good kills in that movie. Clown Camp Massacre, Calibus, which is a pretty interesting slasher, it's not too bad. Laid to Rest, which I'm not a fan of. Malevolence, which was really good. Midnight Movie, great premise, not so great movie. My Super Psycho Sweet 16 trilogy, really, really good modern slasher trilogy, especially the first movie, and the second movie is pretty good, and the third movie is the weakest. P2, Psycho Beach Party, Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I've still yet to see, but I've heard it's absolute garbage. Satan's Slay, this little gem right here, Satan's Little Helper, really cheesy Halloween themed slasher that I highly recommend. It's a ton of fun. Alright, and bottom shelf we have Scarecrow, Scarecrow Slayer, See No Evil, which is really good, Shredder, which is really, really good. It's a snow themed slasher, and it's cheesy, but it's great. Slaughtered, The Sleeper, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, really, really good modern slasher. Spirit Camp, Sweatshop, which I'm not really a fan of, the Toolbox Murders remake, which I don't like, The Tripper, this movie, really, really good, definitely recommend checking that out. Interesting Killer, 13, Valentine, Varsity Blood, check that awesome cover out. This one was really, really good. I think it was from the same people that did Bloody Homecoming, so if you're a fan of that, I would definitely recommend Varsity Blood. And then over here we have Wilderness, which is an interesting slasher. We All Scream for Ice Cream, and the remake of When a Stranger Calls, which I'm a pretty big fan of. Then I also have a few bootlegs, so we might as well go through them quickly. Twisted Nightmare, Boarding House, Edge of the Axe, which is decent, Home Sweet Home, To All a Good Night, which has a Blu-ray release which I'll need to pick up, Open House, which is absolutely terrible, probably one of the worst slashes I have ever seen, definitely one of the worst slashes I've ever seen. Fatal Games, which is amazing. It's very similar to Graduation Day, but I actually prefer this over Graduation Day, and I wish that this would get a physical release. New Year's Evil, I'm not really a big fan of this movie, to be honest. Silent Madness, and Iced. Alright, so those are the DVDs. Now let's move on to the Blu-rays. Okay, so here are the Blu-rays. What I do is sort of divide these up like I did with the DVDs, if you noticed that. So I put all my retro slashes at first, and then it goes into the modern stuff. So first up we have Black Christmas, which is a classic. Bloody Birthday. I think this one is kind of underrated in my opinion, and it's really, really good. It's Kill a Kid themed slasher. Blood Rage, which was another one that I was super excited that got a release. The movie's not too bad, but the release is definitely much more than the movie deserved, in my opinion. But still, I'm just glad this got a release. And as I said, it's not too bad. The Scream Factory release of The Burning, which is a classic. Child's Play. Christmas Evil, Curtains, which I'm not a big fan of, Dead Kids, Deadly Blessing. This one is pretty underrated in my opinion. It's a Wes Craven movie and it's an interesting slasher. It's got a lot of supernatural elements, but really good. Death Valley, Eaten Alive, The Final Terror, Final Exam. This one gets a lot of hate, but I've always been a big fan of it. In my opinion, the characters are really good. I like the campus-themed setting. And the killer reminded me quite a bit of Michael Myers. So, yeah. Final Exam. The Funhouse. Graduation Day. Happy Birthday to Me. The House on Sorority Row. This one is fantastic. Highly recommend that, although I know that this particular release is pretty hard to come by now. This is another one of my all-time favourites, and one of my favourite Blu-ray releases in terms of horror, and that is Intruder. This one is a supermarket-themed slasher movie, so it's pretty original in that concept, and it's awesome. Lady Stay Dead, which is an Australian slasher movie, which I've still yet to check out. Madman, Maniac, the original, which is amazing. Maniac Cop, Motel Hell, The Mutilator, another amazing release from Arrow. This is an interesting slasher. The movie itself is pretty bad, but the kills in this movie are amazing. So this is definitely a slasher movie that is worth checking out just for the kills alone. And look at that cover art. It's just so awesome. My Bloody Valentine, which is pretty common, but this is my favourite standalone 80s slasher movie. I absolutely love it. Prom Night, which I'm not really a big fan of. Then down here we have The Prowler, The New York Ripper, Nightmares, which is really good. Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a classic. Slaughterhouse. This is really good. It's underrated in my opinion, but it's a lot of fun. The three Sleepaway Camp movies, Sleepaway Camp 1, 2 and 3. These are amazing, and these are absolutely phenomenal releases from Scream Factory in my opinion. Slumber Party Massacre, Splatter University, which is one of the 88 films slasher classics collection. I've only seen this movie once and it wasn't that memorable, so I really need to watch it again. But the artwork's awesome. Stage Fright. This movie is amazing. I definitely highly recommend that. The Stepfather, which is really good. Student Bodies, which is like a parody on the slasher genre. Don't like it. Terror Train, which is really good. Torso. Town That Dreaded Sundown. This one is really good. Apart from some of the kind of out of place comedic moments throughout. Really good slasher. Really creepy. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is a classic. X-Ray and Schizoid. Okay, so now we're moving on to the modern stuff now. So we have American Psycho, which is brilliant. Behind the Mask, which I'm not a fan of. Blood Night. This one's fairly underrated. It's got Bill Moseley and Danielle Harris. The movie itself is nothing special, but it's got a really, really high body count. Candyman, Charlie's Farm. This is an Australian slasher film from last year, I believe, and this is amazing. Basically, if you like Hatchet, you will love this movie. Dream Home, which is an Asian slasher that I highly recommend. It's fucking brutal. The Final Girls, which was really, really good. This is pretty common. Then we have the amazing Hatchet series. So we have Hatchet 1 and 2. Part 2 is my favourite. Then down here I just have a few different releases of Maniac. And then we have Hatchet 3 there. Hatchet 3 was a major disappointment in my opinion. House of Wax, Lost After Dark. This is another really recent throwback style slasher which was fantastic. The kills are pretty different in this, in the fact that it's kind of hard to explain, but the people get killed off in different ways than you'd expect, not in your traditional order of a slasher. That one's really good though. Then we have Maniac Remake, which is phenomenal. I really cannot fault the Maniac Remake whatsoever. Mask Maker, this one's not too bad. It's kind of similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The My Bloody Valentine remake, which I like. Nowhere near as good as the original, of course, but it is pretty good. My Soul to Take, which I know gets a lot of hate, but I like it. No One Lives, which is a pretty interesting take on the slasher genre, but it's pretty well done. The Orphan Killer. This is the limited edition steelbook with really, really awesome artwork. I highly recommend this movie. It's really, really good. Then we have President's Day, which actually stars Sean C. Phillips. That one was really good. See No Evil with Kane Hodder, which was really good. The Sorority Row remake. Stitches. If you love Killer Clowns, this is probably, in my opinion, the best Killer Clown movie. The kills in this are just absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. This movie is amazing though. Switchblade Romance, which is a French slasher. Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Remake, which I don't like, and Texas Chainsaw 3D, which I like. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which is I would consider it a slasher. It's an interesting one. It's sort of a reverse style slasher, but it's really good. You're Next, I'm not really a big fan of that one. This is another really good one, Uncle Sam, which is a 4th of July themed slasher film. So pretty original in that, and it's really good. And last for the individual releases we have Venom, which is a pretty good modern theme slasher, really atmospheric. Okay, and now I'll just briefly go through my franchises. So I have the Chucky, the complete collection. Now when it comes to the Child's Play movies, I like the first 3 and Curse. I do not like Bride or Seed. Then I have a few different sets for Friday the 13th. So I have the Steel Tin Blu-ray set. Friday the 13th classic slasher franchise. The Australian DVD box set. This came out of the box set with the mask. And then I have the Crystal Lake Memories doco. Then I have the Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray set. Not a big fan of this franchise, to be honest. The remake, which was terrible, and the DVD box set. Then I have the complete collection of Psycho, classic series. I still need to check out the sequels though. This was actually one of the very first slasher related box sets I picked up, and it's the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit. As you can see, it's not the one with the red cross, but this is a really nice box set, and I think I got it as part of a bundle deal, and it came to about $10, which was a great bargain. Then I have the Scream collection. Okay, so last but certainly not least, I will quickly show you my Halloween franchise. Okay, so here is my Halloween franchise, which most of you know is the main part of my collecting obsession, and it's definitely the pride and joy of my collection. I'm not really going to go over it too in depth because I will be doing a separate video on my complete Halloween franchise collection at the end of this month, but I pretty much own every release imaginable pretty much for the original movie, and I own many editions for the entire franchise. So yeah, it essentially takes up one big side of the room. So yeah, that is the Halloween franchise. Alright, so there you go guys, that is my updated slasher collection for October 2016. I do apologise for the length of this video, but as you can see I have a lot of slashers and I did try and get through them as quickly as possible. So if you have any questions about any of the movies or releases that I've shown, leave a comment below. Please comment and let me know what you think of this collection. Now, I'm not uploading this video to show off, but I'm really proud of this collection. It was really what got me wanting to seriously build a horror collection. And I'm not really going to mention names because a lot of people still aren't around, unfortunately, but a lot of you guys have played a big part in me not only collecting movies but actually helping me find a lot of these releases. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. Once again, if you're not subscribed to Kurt Mind Your Horror, his channel link will be left in the description box, so please check him out. Anyway guys, this video has gone on long enough. I hope everyone's enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making it. So thank you for your time and thank you for watching.